will do to protect people there and to avoid that violence.
This is precisely what we're talking about when we're talking about the rights, the legal human rights, fundamental human rights of civilians to protection. They should not be using these weapons in built-up areas where they're killing innocent civilians, women, children and other innocent civilians.
يقول هذا ما نحن نناشد به الآن بأنه لا يجب على الإطلاق استخدام تلك الأسلحة في تلك المناطق ذات الكثافة السكانية العالية لأنه أي استخدام لها سيؤدي إلى قتل المدنيين.
The families of those who have been killed have a right to demand accountability to international legal standards. Those who are taking actions must consider, when they're taking those actions, whether they are abiding by the fundamental laws that regulate conflict.
هؤلاء الذين العائلات التي قتلت من حقها أيضا أن يتم احترامها ومعاملتها حسب القانون الدولي، وهؤلاء الذين قاموا بتلك الأعمال عليهم أن يتذكروا هل تلك الأعمال مطابقة للقانون الدولي عندما تصرفوا بتلك التصرفات.
We define ourselves as civilized by our behavior. Our behavior is measured against law.
نحن نحدد أنفسنا بأننا مدنيون حسب سلوكنا، ولكن عندما يكون السلوك بهذا الشكل يكون ضد القانون أيضا.
The United Nations Secretary General has been very clear in reminding all parties of their obligations when using force, that it is proportional, that it is legal under the frameworks of the international conventions governing war and the use of force.
الأمين العام للأمم المتحدة كان واضح تماما عندما ناشد الأطراف التي تستخدم القوة أن تعتبر أن هذه القوة هي قوة مناسبة وقوة حقيقية يجب استخدامها أم لا.
Mr. John, Israel claims it's targeting Palestinian resistance men, but the reality on the ground shows that most of the casualties are civilians. And there were many press conferences urging for international intervention, but so far there is no response. What can you do at UNRWA for the Palestinians? I mean, could you participate in any political solution?
That's what I'm calling for. Effective political intervention by the international community to stop the killings, the daily killings now of innocent civilians, women, children.
لازم أترجم. أنا أطالب، هذا ما أطالب به الآن، أنا أطالب بتدخل دولي فاعل لوقف قتل المدنيين في هذا المكان.
What can we do here at UNRWA? We can only speak out. Today, all of our schools, 40,000 children in the northern area in Jabalia, Beit Lahia, Beit Hanun, no school, all schools closed. How is this helping to move forward a political and peace process? I'll tell you, it's not helping. It's actually undermining it. So again, we need people to look at what is actually happening on the ground. And it's exactly as you said. It's the innocent people who are paying the highest price, as always.
يقول بأن على سبيل المثال الأونروا في هذه الأحداث منطقة شمال قطاع غزة هناك 40,000 طالب لم يذهبوا إلى المدارس. كيف يمكن لهؤلاء الأطفال الذين لم يذهبوا إلى المدارس أن يساعد ذلك على السلام؟ ودائما كما يبدو وفي كل الأوقات أن الأبرياء هم الذين يدفعون ثمن النزاعات.
Mr. John, given the fact that the Palestinians in both sides, in the leadership in the West Bank, the Hamas government here in Gaza are so divided, and given the fact that the international community is also so divided in dealing with Hamas and not giving the chance to Hamas, and I don't know, and other facts, what vision are you seeing from here? What is the way out?
Yes.
How can you employ, the international community to end such crisis?
Yes. Let's unify around humanity and legality. And let's put the people before the politics. Because the people of Gaza have suffered far too much. It's inhuman, their suffering. And it has to end. They have to be given a chance to live a decent and civilized life.
دعونا نضع الإنسانية والشرعية قبل السياسة. لقد عانى سكان غزة الكثير ويجب أن ينتهي هذه المعاناة، وأن كان تكون انتهاء هذه المعاناة قبل المصالح السياسية.
We need to ask about the UNRWA. What can the UNRWA do in here, in this situation? Especially when I'm sure that you know that a lot of ambulances car in Gaza is stopped today because there is no enough fuel in there. And if you need from you to explain to the world what exactly happened today in Gaza, especially from John Ging, what you need to tell the world today.
The message is very clear. The inhumanity of the situation continues to affect the ordinary civilian population. Women and children have died again today in large numbers. Innocent, undisputably innocent. And yet the prospects are that tomorrow it will be worse. That is the tragedy upon tragedies. And that's what we are appealing for. We cannot fix the problem from here. It requires an international...
Okay, so we were just watching the speech, the press conference by John Ging, the United